Ladies and gentlemen, this is Robert Anthony, Egotistico Fantastico in some circles, the owner of a Robert Ego Anthony Pint Size All Star. This is not a Super Shredder mask, but it is my mask. You are watching the Wrestling N.R.D. Broadcast.
You're watching DaveCTV. Now here's your host, the voice, Dave Canning. It's you, it's me, it's DaveCTV. It's you, it's me, it's DaveCTV. Let's start the show.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is you, it is me, it is N.R.D. And today on episode 21 of the Wrestling N.R.D. Broadcast, we are joined for the first time by a man who's been immortalized in Pint Size All Star form, hailing from Joliet, Illinois. Please welcome Robert Anthony. Robert, welcome to the broadcast.
Going on, gentlemen. How's everyone doing? I see that Rob has the figure. I don't see that anyone else is holding one up. A little offended, a little upset.
I'm the prop guy. It's my job. That's all.
Well, first of all, in my defense, my collection is upstairs.
I'm about to say all my brawlers are packed away right now.
So that's my excuse. Thank you. But yes, Robert, thank you for coming on the broadcast today. It is a pleasure to have you, sir. Our first guest to ever be immortalized in pint size form. So it is an honor to have you today. So as we did mention, you have been immortalized in Pint Size All Star form. But before we get to that, we want to ask the same question we ask all our guests: what makes you a wrestling nerd?
Oh man, I wish I could bring you guys in the basement, but the Wi-Fi would be kind of horrendous. My collection of wrestling memorabilia rivals other people. But I have rules. I have rules to my wrestling collection. I only do vintage. I rarely do anything current. And I think that the Micro Brawlers and things like that are the only like real current figure forms that I collect. But I have an entire loose, complete Hasbro set downstairs. I am, I think, 20 LJNs away from having a mint LJN collection with accessories, no missing paint. Maybe halfway through this, I'll take you guys downstairs at the end if the internet allows it. So I have I'm really close to a mint LJN set. I have a large foam WWF collection. I have a magazine rack downstairs with every magazine I've ever had as a child, and I have them. I'll take you guys down near the tail end of this. I have them all in a month and year kind of setup. The basement's pretty intense, and then so like that kind of puts me in that nerd forum. But again, I only have rules, right? For my current rules, it's like I only collect exclusives if it's current, like a Mattel Macho Man Slim Jim. I have that. I have the Shockmaster Upside Down. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not collecting like Papa Shango Elite, blah blah blah. It doesn't fall into my rule selection. You know what I'm saying? So I got real strict ones. And the bad part is like eventually I'll be done collecting because then I'll get everything. I'll have everything vintage. But yeah, that's kind of goes. I'll take you guys downstairs. You'll see all the crap.
I mean, what is new now will eventually become vintage. So it'll always update eventually. Like how far back does vintage start for you?
I have to grow up with it. So it's my grow up, right? Okay. Like non-wrestling, I have the Ghostbusters Kenner Ghost Trap and the complete Proton Pack, and then the Thundercat Thunder Tank. So and the Thundercat light up sword. I'll show you guys. So it has to be my vintage as a child. I either had to have owned it or wanted it for me to purchase.
Can we come visit?
Yeah, I was going to say next question. Can I come over?
Yeah, you guys come over. It's a mess downstairs right now, but you'll see.
You're talking to three nerds, okay? You think we care about a mess?
And I see the 8x10s behind you. I can't do 8x10s unless I got them myself. So I have a couple I haven't hung up, but I have one downstairs that's pretty spectacular. I won't spoil it, but I'll show it to you. It's to the point to where there's a photo of me getting this 8x10 signed as a child, and my parents can't find it. And I told them I'll give them $1,000 if they find it. So my mom still hasn't found it.
Yeah, I try. Yeah, I was big on the 8x10s framed for a while. I just have these couple that are still down here. I've taken all mine out recently because we remodeled our house and I had to take down the 8x10s for like painting, and I put them in a binder, but I kept special ones out. Like I went to a Northeast wrestling show a few years ago, and I had Darby Allin slap my chest. So we wound up. I got a screen grab of that video and had him sign that, and he's like, I was like, I don't know if you remember me. He's like, and I showed him. He's like, oh, you don't forget those meet and greets. He's like, do you want to do it again? I'm like, no, no, thank you. That he is no joke.
Yeah.
So as we mentioned, that you were immortalized in Pint Size All Star form. How does that process go for you? Do you contact them? Do they contact you? How long does it take before the first contact is made to when they're shipped out?
So I'll kind of tell my history of it, because my story is a little bit different than everyone else's, because getting into pro wrestling, it's going to be 21 years in November that I've been wrestling. A figure is something I've always wanted but never had, right? And I kind of lost all hope, and then the Micro Brawlers came up. And I said, oh no, this is something that I could do. Like I could possibly get this Micro Brawler thing going. And I asked Ryan about it when Micro Brawlers first started, like right when they started. And Cabana got one. And I was like, oh, I got to get this. And at the time, when Cabana got it, it was supposed to be a one and done. It was just like, we're just going to see what this is, right? And I was like, can I do this? And I even offered, I said, I'll pay for them. Just let me get it done. Like, I just want it, right? And at the time, it was a one and done. And then it turned into, well, let's see what we could do at Legends and things like that. So some times passed, and my wrestling career at that time was like, I was just doing locals at that point. You know what I mean? I was slowing down. Things weren't, I was getting up in age and things like that. Things weren't really hot for me at the time. So I kind of forgot about it. And then I had the AEW summer run, and that started picking up a lot of steam. So I said, hey, if any time's a time, it's now, right? So I revisited it with Ryan, and I said, hey, listen, like, I'm having this really good run in AEW. It's for the summer. At the end of the summer, it's going to be over. So I'm going to go back to teaching. And I go, can we get this done? Because I feel I got a good buzz at the moment. This might work out well for both of us. And I said, at the end of the day, whatever they come out to, like 150, 200, however many they make, I was like, I can pretty much guarantee I could push a lot of these and I could get them sold. And again, this is before Brawlers blew. Like, when did these things blow up? This summer, right?
Yeah,
I was gonna say late summer, fall around is when they really shot up.
Yeah, and it wasn't. They weren't that hot yet. You know. And Ryan basically told me, he's like, we got a lot in the pipeline. And he basically told me like the time frame of when this would be getting done. He's like, we could probably fit you in like 2022 or maybe a little bit later, because so much was going on. And that wasn't high priority at the time. And I was like, by the time 2022 comes rolling around, this is over for me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this buzz will last. So kind of DIY, do-it-yourself kind of attitude. Hillman got the All Star, and I'm a good friends with Pillman, and I said, can you tell me more? Like, what's up with this, right? And he goes, yeah, here's the guy that does it. They do this, blah 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 blah. Ryan from Pro Tees doesn't like what's going on here. And I was like, oh no, you know what I mean? it was like, what do I do? I'm at this crossroads. Like, I'm a lifelong figure fan. I need a figure. I need it, right? Like 21 years in wrestling, I need something to show for it, right? It's how do I immortalize it than a T-shirt that I made? And I started thinking about it really hard. And then I talked to Jake Manning, who basically got one but wasn't branded. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm probably gonna get heat from Ryan for this, but at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me, right? Because this is something I. So I hit up Luke and said, hey, listen, blah blah blah. Here's my spiel. I have the artwork done, so I came to them with the artwork. They didn't have to do anything. So I had the artwork finished. I said, what can we do to get this done? And he said, I could get you done in 3 months. And I said, whew, that's better than waiting for 3 years.
Yeah.
We were able to work out a really good deal to where I got to do a lot of the sales on my end, and I donated a lot of the money, the profits, because full disclosure, I paid half of what these cost to get them made, right? Mm-hmm. So what I did was I took back that I paid for it and the profits I donated to kind of like give back. You know what I mean? My real job, I'm a teacher, right? And like, what do I need like $800 for these figures if I can do a good cause for it? You know what I'm saying? So I did a big pre-order, sold a lot of them. I had the chase. I got half the chases. They got the other half of the chases. And they let me like do a lot of they let me do a lot of the design, and like I know you guys hate the blues and golds. I love the blues. This is my
Oscar in the group, he's a Smurf daddy. He's got all the blues. Any blue he has, he's the Smurf daddy.
I love the blues.
I think it's cool though, but with the detail that's in yours, you don't get to with it's like some of the Harley Race is kind of I hate to use the word basic, but the Barry Horowitz, that detail that's in that color brawler, that's up there for me personally. That's up there with the original Okada that came out in the crate. That like just the level of detail in the cape
on
the
this
mask. Yes. That rivals the Okada jacket. So
thanks, man. Like I know this brawler group hates the major WF pod, but
whoa.
Hey, quit spreading that. It's not true. Those people left. I think those people left.
I personally love the major pod.
We love
everybody. Just saying.
Nick listens all the
love,
time.
man.
You and I are part of the group, Robert.
Yeah. TTD designed this. He designed
Really? Oh.
Yeah, he designed mine.
Okay.
So, I hit him up and I just kind of showed him a photo of me wearing this cape, and then I took pictures of my head in the mask and things like that, and I said, do what you can, and he designed this whole thing for me. So TTD did awesome. I ended up sending him some figures and stuff like that from the thing as a thank you. I paid him, of course, but he designed it for me. So I went to Loot with this whole design. I said, and I think that's why mine looks different than the normal Loot figures. You know, like this is a brawler stance, but with my design and things like that. Like the Loot figures, they have like, I think they have. Obviously the artwork is done differently than what the brawlers are like, right? But this one is brawler-esque because TTD designed the pod ones and things like that, so he kind of knew what he was doing. But like long story rambling, I had to take a DIY approach. I approached Loot and they were really accommodating, and I like Jeff, who runs Loot. He's a really cool guy. He's always done right by me. I know people have their opinions on him, but he's a good guy to me, and he kind of helped me fulfill a bucket list kind of item.
Just out of curiosity, because I see the shirt that's in the background for Ryan. Did the shirt, like how you said you had the design for it, did that come before the All-Star, or did the All-Star come and then you made the shirt based on that?
So I did the shirt first.
Okay.
And my pitch to Frozen Tees was, look how many shirts I sold. Imagine how many brawlers I could sell. That was like that was my initial pitch. Like, oh, I want to make the shirts and like show them a concept. Because right now, at that time when I released that shirt, Robert Anthony wasn't a proven seller. You know what I'm saying? So like I have a business mindset. It's like, hey, look, I sold 100 t-shirts. I definitely could sell 100 brawlers. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't sell the other 100, I'll buy the other 100. You know what I mean? I try to get them to like release any reliability whatsoever from it. It's just the time didn't work. Like I couldn't wait. I mean, I'd still be waiting now because they have so much in the line, and like I don't deserve to jump in front of an Owen Hart. And that's something he told me back then. He goes, I have Owen Hart in the works. Like, I can't put you in. And I was like, you just told me you have Owen Hart in the works. And
Did he tell you anyone else that you can tell us about?
No, I got Ryan knows I got my secrets.
Darn. Worth a shot.
Yeah, I know secrets from time to time.
I do want to know one thing, because you posted in the Micro Brawler group that Loot gave you the molds for your All Star.
I was about to say the same thing.
Oh, right.
That's so cool.
Came prepared, man.
Did you make good on your word, and did you make Jello molds with them?
Not yet, because I have to clean this because it's school's been busy and things like that. But yes, dude, I have this mold. How crazy is this mold?
That is pretty awesome.
It's pretty insane. So hold on, let me see if I could pull a video up on my phone. Since working with Loot, I've been pretty lucky to like have some input on a lot of like things are coming in the pipeline.
Yep.
For Loot, and I got a lot of fun behind the scenes like stuff. So like the infamous Sabu. So hold on, I don't know if this will work. Okay, you ready? So this is a video from the factory of the Sabus coming out of their mold.
Oh wow!
They're like,
wow.
And they're like peeling the extra like whatever off of them. You can see it, and I'll talk in the thing. And then hold on, there's another one.
Like Santa's toy shop. We're seeing out there.
Yeah. And like, hold on, there's that, and then I think they just sent like a here's
That's the chase, huh?
Here's like
yeah.
what they just send these weird like couple second clips, and I'm able to like kind of just like snag them and things like that. Nope, can't show you that one. That's a spoiler. Can't show you that one. That's a spoiler.
Oh, not fair.
We're not recording.
And then here's the like all the blue purple pant guys and things like that. They kind of just show them, but I felt like that one of them coming out of the mold and cutting it.
Yeah.
Super cool, and like I'm able to get some. They didn't know that the hand was on double.
Yeah, we caught a lot of flack on that one, but
oh man, when I saw that, I was like, oh no.
He's homicidal, genocidal, and ambidextrous.
Oh man, I forgot who sent it to me, and because I didn't open it.
Thank you.
They sent me a bunch of Sabus, and then someone sent me, maybe it was Doug in the group.
Yeah, maybe Dougie.
Dougie's
the one that originally even first noticed it.
He sent me that photo, and I'm like, what am I looking at? It took me a minute, and I went, oh, he's got two hands. Oh, and I immediately sent it to Lou. I go, well, that's not good.
Kung Fu Grip's gonna be a little hard with that one.
Oh, if that was my figure, I'd be so mad. But like, that was so bad.
I'm sure that Pro Wrestling Tees was licking their chops when they released their ECW, because a lot of people said, like, is the Sabu hand correct on this one?
It has to be.
To be honest, I bet you Sabu only cares that check cleared.
Yes.
And then I'll show you these. So I had a hand in the Harley Race.
Okay.
I told them it has to come with a belt, right?
I love the Harley Race.
You have to do accessories. You have to do accessories, and hopefully, their spoiler might be more belts coming, but I was able to. Hold on one second.
We have a masked wrestler on the loose.
Yeah, he's gotta stop. You gotta go.
Run it.
Running on the broadcast.
So I was able to get the samples because we didn't know what sample size for the belts, right? So like first they sent this one, which is like way tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, that can't work. That's way too tiny. And then they sent this one, which is
That's bigger than the original gold belt WCW.
Yo, it's so big, but I still display them. But like I like the color, like the two-tone. Ryan, show it real quick because it's like
That is.
Yeah, it definitely pops a little more than the one you have there, Robert.
yeah. The plan is to hopefully detail these, right?
Okay.
Because you know what this is.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the detail in it. So
Gotcha.
hopefully, spoiler alert, down the line, there'll be a detailed accessories.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
And accessories outside of belts.
You asked before we started recording. That was one of our top 3 Tuesdays, by the way. Accessories we wanted with these.
Yeah, give me your top 3. Give me your top 3.
What were they? I know tables was one, belts was one. I'm sorry, titles, because belt holds up your pants. I don't know what the thought process is. I think a ring is the big ask. Everyone wants a ring or an official display title.
So do you know what I have is I had them make me stickers. So I have stickers to make a ring. Because when mine came out, I was supposed to do another AEW. And Sammy Guevara, my good friend, and I, we were going to shoot a commercial for my figures. It was going to be like a really funny, half-hearted joke commercial. And I got these rings. I have Hasbro stickers for the All-Stars, and I have the Mattel basic stickers. I'll show you that. I'll show you guys those in a little bit. And like we wrote out this whole commercial where it was like Sammy's like, yeah, you should buy Rob's Micro. I'm like, no, don't say that. We're gonna get sued. And just like we're gonna rip that we can't say the word Micro Brawler. Like that's gonna be a big part of our commercial. And then we have the ring in them and stuff like that. We're gonna be really half-hearted on them. But I didn't go back yet. But that is in the works. Us shooting a fun like commercial for these little guys.
Nice.
I think that. What's that, Ryan?
I was just saying, we changed the podcast name. There was no heat, but we were like, we want to get our own store, maybe make a few bucks, because we used to be
the Micro Brawler broadcast.
Yeah.
You're gonna get sued, man.
Exactly. You didn't want to get sued.
Cease and desist.
But I am glad you did mention Sammy Guevara, just because a side note, I mentioned this to Nick and Ryan earlier. My sisters got me a cameo from him for my birthday last year, and I'm pretty sure you're in the background of it.
Did you do it in the hotel?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've been trying for the last year, so I think it's you. You go, happy birthday, man. And then there's somebody lying in the bed that I can only assume is Fuego because he's like under the sheets. Or it's somebody.
If it's not Fuego, it's either Marco or this guy named Joe.
Okay. I know, yeah. But I was assuming
We
Fuego.
were doing his cameos with them. There's a really good one where we did like a 20-minute cameo for somebody because we were just going crazy. So we might have been there for that. I might have been there.
Mine was just a minute and a half. So
oh, we were going nuts.
No, I can. So if you're watching this and you have that 20-minute cameo, let us know.
Dude,
Reach out to us.
Funny. It was pretty funny. But yeah, man, like not to get super off topic, but still staying on topic. Did my kid steal that? No, he didn't. I asked for the prototype of my figure because they're different colors. Like because they do show you the Harley Race prototype, which I didn't get. The bad thing is that the factory throws them away.
Oh,
they don't understand why we want. I don't know.
There's value.
Want this? Why do you want this? And we're like, because we just want them.
Mm-hmm.
Harley prototype. I'll show you the Harley prototype. It's all orange.
Oh wow.
I want that. And look how big that belt is. Look
Yeah,
how-
I said, whoa.
I thought it was
Right.
censored at first. As like, oh,
yeah, he's not wearing pants. So he's like, and then there's the original prototype of the belt they were wearing.
Wow.
But I told him, I go, I want that orange Harley. I want it. And then the factory wouldn't send it, but they sent this instead. And I was like, well, I'd rather have this. You know what I mean? This is heavy. It's super metal.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But like yeah, but like Lute's really cool with that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a really cool guy. People have their issues with him. Blah blah blah. But it's like at the end of the day, man, it's a DIY attitude. I'm not an idiot. I understand that this is like it's this. You know?
Oh, you got your AEWs in hand.
Yeah, I got that one too. Legends only, but he's my friend, so like
I was gonna say.
legends only. Man.
do you have anything right with Mox? I was going to ask earlier when you talked about Legends. I was going to call you out if you owned any Mox. Do you only in the Micro Brawler?
No, I have his Chase. I have his Chase figure.
Oh.
Mox and I traveled the road together for like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying like
Yeah.
forever. So like so you got to get your friend. You know what I'm saying? So like that's another part of my words. You got to get your good friends.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask that. And you mentioned earlier with the AEW run you had last summer. How did that happen? Like who got in contact with that? Because I remember, I'll be honest, the first time I got to watch you wrestle was that dark match against Mox. And it's like, wow, this guy's really good.
Yeah, so it actually started before that. So what happened was I don't drink, right? Like there's no reason why I don't drink. I just, number one, I don't like the taste of beer. And two, like it just never was my thing, right?
Okay.
But every now and again, my wife will get me to like take some sips of a free drink. And I'm 6'4", 200 and something pounds, and I'm a super lightweight. So if I take a couple sips of these drinks, I'm like wasted. So one night she got me drinking strawberry daiquiri sitting on the couch, and the search for Sean Spears came on the TV.
Oh.
Here, 3 sips of strawberry daiquiri in, going, cutting promos in my basement. And like, I'm gonna be freaking Sean Spears' partner. And then it turned into these promos are terrible. And I just wrestled a match where I was bleeding, and I was like, I'm gonna upload this me bleeding clip for Search for Spears. And I did. I uploaded it, and I woke up the next day to all these notifications on my phone. I'm like, what the hell? I think I uploaded it at 11 o'clock at night. When I woke up for work at 6 in the morning, had 30,000 views. I was like, uh-oh, what did I just do? And then 2 days later, Paul, that I was going to be one of Spears' partners. So I was like, oh, this is great, right? 3 days after that, the world shuts down.
Oh.
Oh no, I was supposed to be his partner in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the world shuts down. And they said, hey, Milwaukee's not happening, but if you could come to Jacksonville, we'll still do it. And I said, all right, I'll be there. So then I went to Jacksonville, did Search for Spears, basic, whatever it was. And then I talked to Mox and I said, what do I do now? Like, what do I do? Like, I had this match. It was basic. It is what it is. And he goes, I think like 1 a.m. Chicago time, he texted me and he gave me dates. And I go, what are these for? He goes, oh, that's the next time AEW is filming. I go, okay. He goes, yeah, it's going to be me and you. I go, me and you what? He goes, me and you are wrestling. I'm like, I'm like, what? And then it turned into Search for Spears to me and Mox wrestling to after that match, I got the whole summer. So I owe him everything, man. Just like helping me out and like and doing all that kind of stuff. So that's how that came about, man. 2 a.m. text, and then at the end, I got a Sports Illustrated article, and I was like, I gotta get these mini figures out.
What is that like? You getting to know that you're wrestling one of your good friends on such a major stage, especially when he was, I believe, he was the AEW champion at that point too.
Yeah.
Like what was that like?
So the last time we wrestled was literally 10 years to like a couple days from the last time we had this really big match where he put me through a window and I bled everywhere. Like I cut a promo. I did another video style promo for that match alone. And it was like 2010 and blah blah blah. This happened, and then now in 2020, 10 years later, we have this rematch, right? So it wasn't wrestling my friend 10 years ago because it was higher stakes. He's at a different level when it comes to, he's done WrestleManias, he's done this, he's been world champion. Like now I'm wrestling someone that like pretty much did everything. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to talk to him the way I'm talking to you, but in the back of my mind, I was like, oh man, he's on another level from the last time we wrestled. So I got to shut up and listen at times. And it was comfortable, but nervous. I was comfortable because I was with my friend and we were doing a lot of cool stuff, but I was nervous because this is your second chance at a first impression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Funny backstory about that match is on the whiteboard where it shows all the matches. It said Robert Anthony versus John Moxley, 6 minutes. And I was like, man, 6 minutes. That sucks. And Joey Janela is a huge old school CZW fan. That's where me and Mox were at. He walks in real loud. He's like, look at this 2010 CZW main event, an AEW Dark. Like made a big deal out of it. It was like pretty fun, whatever. And I told Mox, I was like, yo, we got 6 minutes. And he just looked at me. He's like 16 minutes. We do. And I was like, oh man, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, whatever, it's dark. We can do whatever we want. He's like, if we were on Dynamite, it'd be 6 minutes. But the best part's on dark. So maybe we could go longer. And some production guy came up to him. He goes, so you and your friend, what? 5, 6, 7 minutes? He goes, 15, 18? He's like, yeah, whatever you want to do. And I was like, oh no, this is gonna be great. So again, this is pandemic, right? And at this point, there's nobody during that era of AEW Dark ringside for Dark. If you watch those matches back, it's empty arena for AEW Dark, right? Then they had the fake crowd. I'm standing ready to go out, and full disclosure, AEW Dark is all night. I wrestled Scorpio Sky at 2 in the morning when I wrestled Scorpio Sky. So it's all night. We're standing there, and Mox is getting mad. He goes, if we don't start wrestling now, he's like, I'm going to be real upset. He goes, if it's 1 in the morning and my music hits, we're using tables and chairs. And I go, you're going through at least 2 of those tables. I was like, I'm not going through all of them. But so I'm standing there getting ready to go out, and then all of a sudden they made a decision to go, the champ doesn't wrestle in front of nobody. And our match was the first Dark match to have a crowd in front of there.
Oh, wow.
So Barry Lynn and who I'm a admirer of, Cabana, and then they put all the extra talent stuffs in the crowd. So if you go back and watch, that's the first one that had a crowd. So it was like super special. So I felt really good about that. And then after that, I was booked for the rest of the summer. It was awesome.
It's like, yeah, I remember just that got me into Dark, honestly, just because because obviously I'm a big Mox fan, and they hyped that up that you two were fighting, that they advertised a bit of the rivalry, and it just got me more into it. So, you were the reason I watch it. So
hey man. And Mox is the reason I had a giant scrape over my head. They cut out, which is great because you don't see it at the end of the match. He goes up, I go under, he kicks me in the face.
Oh.
And I had a giant, it looked like a Red Stripe beer, a giant thing on my face. And at the end of the tapings, they all the boys hang out and stuff. And I was with Sammy, and Sammy goes, "Hey man, do you want this hat?" I'm like, "No, I don't need a hat." And I look in the mirror and I go, "I need this hat." And Mox sent me a picture of his ass because he bruised his tailbone doing the sharpshooter on the post. His ass was black and blue. He goes, dude, look at my ass. I just said, I go, look at my face. I was like, and then he just started laughing. But like at the end of that match, you see him kick me, and they never show my face after that because scrape across my head. Oh, it looked terrible. The airline, shout out to American Airlines. On my way home, they felt sorry for me and upgraded me to first class because they thought I was like messed up because my face was all like messed up. Like the lady came up to us, do you want first class? I'm like, oh yeah, thank you.
At that point, you just start playing it up, like, oh yeah.
Oh, I started limping and like had the mask on my face. They gave me a whole bottle of water like this big. Thank you.
I'd be my sister would hate me if I didn't ask. Do you have the picture of Moxley's ass that you can show us?
I do, and I'm not showing it to
That's
you.
fine.
No, he posted it on Twitter.
Did
Hold
oh
on.
okay. There you go,
Hold on,
Kathleen.
wait.
Go look for Moxley on Twitter. I'm sure she'll find it. So
Yeah, because he sent it to me and then he posted it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, this weirdo. So that's not speaking out of school. Here, I found it on his Twitter. Look.
there we go. Ladies and gentlemen.
Look, it's on his Twitter. It's on his
There
Twitter.
we go. Kathleen, go look
I'm
at it
not
on
speaking out
Twitter.
of school.
She'll be happy to know. So yes, so you talked about the history between you and Mox. There's another person I want to know about the history between you, and that is one of the men who is responsible for training you, and that is Harley Race.
Yes.
What can you tell us about being under that learning tree?
Open ears and shut your mouth. Man, the number one funny story. I got a lot of fun. I'll tell you a couple stories, but the best story I've ever had meeting Harley Race was, or learning under him, was a buddy of mine went to his Pro Wrestling Noah camp and went to Pro Wrestling Noah from that, but also started working for Harley. And when he got back from Japan, I was like, I want to go too. I want to go to Harley's. So I went there and we started working for him. And the way he did his shows were very old school, to the point where I would have a singles match, right? Another wrestler would run in, attack me, and help the whatever bad guy. Then someone else would come and save me. Then all four of us would have a tag match later on in the night. That was every show, right? So it was super old school. And then the where I say shut your mouth is when the wrestler attacks me. We have the tag match. I asked Harley what the finish is. He goes, listen, kid, this is what you're going to do. You're going to hook him for a suplex. You're going to hold him up in the air. Hold him as long as you can. Then you're going to drop him, hit him 1, 2, 3. It gets real quiet. I look at him, I go, sir, you sure that's a big enough move? You want me to do a vertical suplex for a finish? Looked at me like he was going to kill me, but real softly and quietly goes, I won the NWA World Title that way. And I went, say no more. I'm never going to ask that question again. That finish, held him up in that suplex forever, dropped him, 1, 2, 3. That was done. I'll never question you ever again. Because how do you come back? You won the NWA World Title with a vertical suplex. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to do it. It's perfectly fine. It is a finish today.
Yeah. He just, I feel like no matter what, like obviously I was born in 88, so I wasn't alive during the prime Harley Race years. But like even as they showed him later on, like he still seemed like he could take anyone in a fight, no matter how old he got.
He had the biggest hands.
I was just saying, look,
his ring was like, I have big hands, man. And his ring was like, wouldn't fit on my finger, it was too big. But every year, I always tell people to do the Harley Race challenge. I'm sitting at him with a bar, and this is the Harley Race challenge. He took the beer cap off of a beer bottle. He put it, you know how if you take the beer bottle and you bend it like a football, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So what you got to do, keep your fingers straight, put it between your fingers right here. And what he did without, all the way in. All the way in. So he put it there. Without bending his fingers, he closed his finger, bent that into a beer bottle, or bent that into a football.
No.
It's impossible. He's the only person I've seen. I think a couple people got close to it, but you start cutting up, and everyone's trying it. See, you can't do it without
No.
doing it at all. So
Wind up in the ER after tonight.
Dude, I try to do it every year. It's awesome. I get people to do it. Did you keep your fingers straight? Just
I can't even do it like this.
man, he was tough, man.
I got it
It
bent a
hurts,
little
right?
bit. I got it bent a little bit.
Yeah, but he just closed it. Boom. And I was like, wow, man. It was like pretty awesome. And then like one of my famous stories of Harley was we're sitting at the bar that same day where he got the beer bottles. And he told me the secret busting someone open the hard way on their eyebrow, right? How to pop them, they start bleeding.
Ooh.
And thanks for smarting me up on that. 12 beers later, I had to stop him from demonstrating it on me. Here, let me show you. And I'm like, no, stop. I was like, they hit him off of me. But man, he was the best. He was the best, man. He was the best.
Oh man.
How long did you train with him for? How long?
So I went there in 2004. And then I worked for him the whole year, did the pro Noah camp, and then I got signed to WWE developmental out of it. So then I left. And then what's going on?
So you trained with him because your debut is 2001, right?
Yeah, I had a couple other trainers. It was more of a finishing type of deal.
Okay. Nice.
Like I started training in like 2000 under Sonny Rogers, who Sonny Rogers used to do jobs for WWF in like the 80s and into the 90s. Like I've seen video of Sonny wrestling the Hart Foundation. I've seen when Austin started doing Austin 316, he's a job guy for Austin. Austin tells him, he goes, I'm going to forfeit this match so you can tell your grandkids that you beat Stone Cold Steve Austin. Then he beats him up. So a lot of jobs back in the day. And then I was on my own. And then as a wrestler, you need to learn more, right? So
I was going to say, you never quit learning. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I went to Harley's because I knew it would like further my career, give me better opportunities. His wife, BJ, when I was working for them, she looked at me one day. She goes, you ever been an extra for WWE? And I was like, no, never. She goes, you're going to be one on Monday. And I was like, okay. And then I just went, that was, you know what I mean? There's like those opportunities you don't get if you're just sitting at home in Chicago doing nothing.
That's awesome. Is Resistance Pro Wrestling, is that the WWE? Is that their company? No, Resistance?
No. Resistance was a company I did in Chicago. Billy Corgan was a part of that.
Okay. I have my federation. Because I saw you won a few titles there. One that stuck out to me was the tag team championships with Josephus.
Yeah, man. Josephus. Wow, man. He was question mark in NWA. And Josephus at the time was doing a Bruiser Brody gimmick. And when he came to Chicago for Resistance, he was doing that, but then it turned into this like really cool cult leader kind of deal. And I turned heel and followed the Josephus cult. And then Resistance Pro basically ceased to exist. So that stopped. And then he went to NWA and he was doing the cult leader thing there, lost that hair match versus Dave Arquette, and then he turned into a question mark.
Yeah.
He was a good dude, man. He was a good dude and like super old school, which I like, an old school guy, and just loved the business, loved music. Josephus was a good dude.
Heard a lot of good things about him. I just thought I didn't know you teamed with him. I thought that was awesome, yeah.
Yeah. If I could get Loot to team up with NWA, we'll do a question mark All Star.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And then what was the other question? I've totally lost my train of thought on what question was. Shoot. I'm blanking. I don't know why I'm blanking. Yes, go for it, Ryan.
Okay.
By all means.
Something. I don't know if have you had a worst injury in wrestling? I don't want to jinx you if you've had none. Has there been a bad injury?
Not knock on wood, no surgeries. Okay. But I got crazy ankle that blows up every now and again. I got a bad wrist. I have bones that float in my elbow that I lose times, and then I show sometimes they like, there's one in here somewhere. There it is. Hold on. It's hard to see at this point. Where is he at? I gotta pop him out. Hold on.
Yeah, you're making me think of Lex Luger at the plate. You get a steel plate.
Yeah, I got bones to float my elbow. Look, I'm safer now. When you get older, you don't do the moves you used to do when you're in your 20s because you know you're going to hurt yourself. And then you learn how to tell some stories. I like to say that I am a independent sports entertainer at times. Get more miles on telling these stories than doing the double backflips. So at my old age, I get to stick around because I'm not doing anything too crazy anymore.
That makes me think you talk about that. I saw that you were the X Division champion in the NWA Midwest. So, I mean, the crazy X Division stuff.
Yeah. So like, so I'm 6'4" on a good day, right? And I was able to, when I first started wrestling, I wore a mask, and I did a lot of lucha stuff. I loved it because I could do backflips and things like that. So like, I always tell Sammy Guevara he stole the vertical backflip over the guy into a drop kick. I was like, I was doing that in 05 when you were in. I was doing all the crazy stuff like standing in the apron. I'll jump, turn around on the middle rope, and backflip into the ring. Like I used to do all these cool things like that. And then you start getting older and you realize that like, oh no, I could blow my knee out being 39 years old. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do these power bombs and, and drop kicks. I'm gonna leave the flips to the kids nowadays. I don't need to keep doing that. But then you like supplement it with other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you got guys in the show that could do all those flips. You don't need to see old me doing those things. I'll do the storytelling stuff. The longevity. Sports entertainment is the longevity. If I could get you to cheer and boo and laugh, you're gonna remember all that over the crazy thing that I can't walk on or whatever. That's like true. That. Like when I had Joey Janela jump off the goalpost. You guys see that clip?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
so
every time I do a high school football game, I think of that. I'm like, wow, imagine if somebody did a backflip off that.
That was my idea. I said, Joey, you're gonna jump off this thing onto us. And he's like, okay. I was like, I just get to lay there and we'll take it from there.
I remember my question now. So you mentioned earlier that you're a teacher, gym teacher. Do your students know that you wrestle as well? Like, do they know your moonlighting job?
Not the current ones because it's a distraction, right? Mm-hmm. So when I worked in the city of Chicago, it was a rougher neighborhood. I told all those kids because they're a little older, and I told them about wrestling. And the reason was I told them about it is because like they never knew anyone that did anything successful or outside of working a 9 to 5, right? So a lot of those kids like they had nothing, they came from nothing, but they never met anyone that did anything crazy, right? And I always told them like, dude, I traveled this country and other people paid for it. Here's how I did it, and here's what I did, right? I didn't grow up wanting to be a fireman or an astronaut. I wanted to be Hulk Hogan, right? And I stuck to my guns and I did it, right? I did more than a lot of independent pro wrestlers do that came up in my era. Back in the day, if you were an extra for WWE, that meant something. That meant you were on the cusp of getting signed. Nowadays, I see kids that been in the business for a year becoming extras. It's not that special anymore. But I was like, I signed a deal. I've got fired from a deal, but I did it, right? And I figured that out. So I told a lot of those kids that kind of stuff. So it kind of like gets them motivated that like when someone comes in that's an ex-football player and they're like, work hard, blah, 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 and you could achieve everything. See you later. Gets in his Mercedes and leaves. I'm standing there going, hey, I had this. I lost it. I'm here in front of you. You see me every day. Here's how you can do it too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I told a lot of the older kids that. Now I teach a lot of younger kids, and it's just a distraction. I kind of don't bring it up because it's not necessary. You know what I mean? I teach kindergartners and things like that.
If a young kid like does come like, excuse me, are you this guy? And they like show you like you're just wrestling or whatnot. Like, do you still explain it like to the younger kids?
I tell them it's my twin brother.
So speaking of big kids, I am curious, how did you and Frank the Clown come to be?
Oh
Because
man,
just that popped in my head that might be a cool Pint Size All Star.
oh, I talked him into it. He won't do it.
Ah,
He does not want Ryan to get mad at him, and told him that my next one is going to be Robert Anthony with Clown, and I'm just going to rip him off. And I'm not going to give him any of the profits. He goes, it'll be my face paint. I could sue you. I'll go, I'm going to do full face paint. You only do half. So I'm going to do full. I go Vanilla Ice and Queen. It's not the same. The thing at the end is not the same.
that extra little ching makes it completely different.
Not the same. So I told him I'll rip it off. No, so I met Frank through Freelance Pro Wrestling. He was brought in as kind of like a one-off, kind of like, here's Frank the Clown, maybe it won't work. And I started talking to him, and I decided that I think I hurt my knee. I hurt my knee at Freelance, and I was like really worried I tore something. And I did it doing a backflip. I was like, oh no. But luckily I didn't tear anything. I was like, this is bad. Then I met Frank, and I saw that everyone hated him. And I said, you know what? If I could bring this kid in, maybe he could be my heater, and I don't have to do these backflips anymore. And I can tell some stories. So I asked Freelance, I'm like, hey, I want to bring in Frank. And they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to bring him in because perception is reality, right? So everyone looked at him as he's dating Foley's daughter, and he's a fan in the crowd. He didn't pay any dues. He didn't train. He doesn't know how to do anything. We're going to get a lot of flack from bringing him in. So they said no. And it took about 10, 11 months of me like bugging them. Like, let me do this thing with Frank. I'll smarten him up. I'll train him. He's just a manager. It'll be fine. And then Freelance is like, all right, we'll try it. But it took almost a year for them to get to do this. And then I told Frank, I'm like, hey, they're going to do this thing with me. Let's do this. And the first night, we went out there to the Freelance crowd, and they hated him. They hate him for all the reasons. He's dating Foley's daughter. He's in the front row of every show. He's just a fan. He doesn't belong here. Now, that gets me out of doing all the flips, man, because wherever we go, he gets booed. That jerk tells me that he revamped my career. And I told him I gave him a career. So back off. I go, back off. I go, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me bugging you. Or bugging them. And he goes, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. I go, shut up.
So it is safe to say that Frank. What's that, Ryan?
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just well. If you do you have a question? What was your question or point there?
I was just saying you train at Freelance currently, right? Is that
I'm one of the 4 trainers. Yeah, I'm one of the 4 trainers at the Freelance Wrestling Academy here in Chicago. Whatchamacallit? We just signed a lease, a 3-year lease to a giant building, and it's going to be one of the premier schools in Midwest because they're not going to offer anything we offer. We got a lot of good students, things like that. It's going to be when we put out the pictures to the school, because right now we just moved the rings in. We're gonna have 2 rings, and we're gonna make it look really like underground and pretty awesome. And then we'll put some pictures out and everything like that. It's gonna be really good.
Awesome. So how we were talking about Frank the Clown and his perception amongst the crowd, you could say he is an absolute villain. Which brings us to our top 3 Tuesday, in which you've selected our topic for today. Yes, hey, like that. All those years of community college broadcast journalism classes finally pay off. So yes, our top 3 Tuesday today is movie villains. selected by our esteemed guest, Mr. Robert Anthony. So, Robert, we are going to let you go through first. With your
Oh,
Top 3 Tuesday.
I'm not going first.
Oh, you don't want to go first?
I'm going last.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Nick,
Got it.
Nick, you are honored first today.
All right. Well, I was thinking go Joker, Batman's Joker first. I don't know if it would be Jack Nicklaus or Heath Ledger Joker, but
Well, you got to pick one so I
All
can
right.
choose
You have
it if
to
I have
pick
to cross it off
all
my
right,
list.
well, I'm gonna go Jack Nicklaus. I'm gonna go old school.
Okay.
I like that.
90s. And then I thought maybe like a miniature version of the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
Okay.
And then finally, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th.
Which
Okay.
one?
Yeah.
Which Jason?
That's a hard one too. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not good with Jason movies. What about which is the one where he goes to like the hood? Jason goes to the hood.
So if you pick Jason, that'd be your chase, because
Yeah, we could have some chases.
you could do Jason X with a metal mask. You could do
Yeah.
Jason with the bag on his head. You could
So you can
do
do like unmasked Jason.
Yeah.
you could do that. The easy go-to would be the different colored points on the hockey mask.
Yeah. Or you could have them have different weapons.
Yeah. You guys ever play
sorts of ways,
Friday
yeah.
the 13th game?
No, I'm too much of
Video
a baby.
game?
A little.
I might have. I'm not sure.
And there,
I was addicted to it in like 2017 18. It was pretty good.
So, Ryan, we
sorry, I'm so curious. What system is that on? PC or?
No, it's a PlayStation, it's on Switch, it's on all of them.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a newer game?
That's
I'm
what
gonna
we're
check that out.
Yeah, I don't think I knew about it. I'm trying to get back into gaming.
You play as either a counselor or you could play as Jason, right? If you're a counselor, you got to escape. So you got to like find the pieces of the car, put them together. You got to find the fuse to the phone and call the police, right? And then as Jason, you got to stop the counselors from doing all these things and try to kill them. And you would fight back with Jason. It's like an open, it's like a map concept. It was amazing when it first came
Wow,
out.
that's pretty cool.
That sounds good.
all right. So, Ryan, we will let you go next with your top 3 Tuesday movie
Got
villains.
2 or 3. So you want me to just get my 2, or do you want to go, Dave?
All right, if you want me to go first.
Okay.
So,
So NDR.
all right. So, I mean, depending on who you ask, he may or may not be a villain. But number 1's going to be Darth Vader, hands
Oh, that's
down,
cool.
best villain of all time. Then number 2 for me is going to be Jack Torrance from The Shining, and you could do like maybe him
It's so good.
have him frozen in the snow as a chase,
Oh,
and your accessory can be just him chopping through the door.
Yeah, there you go.
And then number
That's
3
so
for
good.
me, just because I think the jacket would be amazing that he wore in it, is Titus Sinclair from Ready to Rumble. That fringe leather jacket he has, just trying to take down Jimmy King. I think that'd be a fun brawler to make as well. So that is my top 3.
That Shining figures, I need that in my life.
That's how do you like that? I came up with that on the fly because I was originally going to go with Joker and I didn't want to copy Nick's answer. So
I was thinking with the package, you could have him chopping through on the package, like have the package be like the door, and then like him like kind of peeking through.
It's so good.
So if PW Loot ever gets into movies and just does movie loot crates, there you go.
Yeah. I'll let Ryan go last because he doesn't know his
I'm struggling.
So, yeah. So I'm going battle damaged Terminator Schwarzenegger from Terminator 1.
Okay.
The 80s look and maybe a little bit of a maybe all 80s, no battle damage, just maybe 80s Schwarzenegger from Terminator, where he's got the weird jacket, things like that. I think that's awesome. And I'm keeping the theme. And then I'm going T1000 with Bill arms.
Yep.
Right? Because I'm going there. And then I am I think I'm gonna little bit of a. Do I cheat on this one? I don't know if I want to cheat. I want the truck from Maximum Overdrive with the green face on it.
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
He's a villain, man.
It counts. We'll allow
I
it.
love that movie, by the way. Maximum Overdrive. I love.
Ryan, you still look like you need another hour to think.
Just give two.
I do, but I got my third one's a segue to a question, so we're good. Okay.
Okay.
I was too involved. I was listening to you guys. I couldn't think of mine. But first one that came to mind, favorite movie, mine is The Fifth Element. I would like Zorg.
Okay.
The chase could be with the black goop coming down, real minimal, but. And then I don't know the character's name, but Dennis Hopper in Waterworld.
I love Waterworld, man.
I just watched Waterworld with my wife for the first time. She's never seen it. I don't know if I like Waterworld. I don't know if she enjoyed Waterworld as much as I did.
When I was a kid, I went to Universal and they had Kevin Costner's boat on the water there, and I was like super fan of it, and everyone else was like, I don't care about this. I'm like, it's the Waterworld.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm sure you guys know, or possibly Christopher Daniels, right? He was an extra
Yeah, he
in
was.
Waterworld. I wish I could have seen him do that live.
Now I have to watch it again.
Well, no, he was an extra at the
Universal
live show.
Oh, okay.
Or he was Dennis Hopper, probably, right?
I think so.
That'd be sweet. But, so him with an eye would be the regular. The chase would be the eye patch. That's two pretty good ones. I don't have a third. I will joke and say Shredder from Ninja Turtles, but that's not so true. I'm just curious if you had a chance to talk to this guy. I know you said you were going to talk to him. Didn't he borrow your mask, you said, at a convention?
He did. There's a that mask is in the garage actually. There's an awesome photo of Kevin Nash at a convention with a Shredder helmet. And the early days of Freelance, I was just doing crazy stuff, and I came out with a Shredder helmet, like a legit one. And Kevin Nash has mine, but no, I haven't talked to him about that.
Okay. I thought the same thing as you. I'm like, this is a tag team as soon as I saw it.
There you go. That mends the fence between Pro Wrestling Loot and Pro Wrestling Crate right there.
Mine's a little bit more rip-offy, but it's still there.
Yours has more detail though.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. So Ryan, Nick, any other questions? Because my list is completely gone through.
I'm gonna take you guys downstairs. You want to go downstairs?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what?
Sure.
I had an idea. Can we make it Patreon exclusive for this toy tour? I think that'd be. So while Robert takes us downstairs to his basement, we're going to actually, Robert, before you take us downstairs, we'll wrap it up. We're gonna wrap up the regular show. If you want to see what's in the Ego's Toy Cave, you're gonna have to go on patreon.com/WNRDB to see the exclusive. But so before we go, Robert, where can everyone find your merch and all that so we can plug that on the YouTube show? You are muted.
You muted me.
I didn't mute anyone. My hands have been here. So yes, where can we find you and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I'm old. What's my Twitter? At Egos with an S, EGOS 1313. It's may or may not be my gamer tag. That's why it is what it is. You can follow me there on the good old Twitter. And then the links to the merch are in the bio. If you would like your own autographed Pint Size All Star, you could hit it up on the DMs on that Twitter. And everything will be good.
All right, and you have a Pro Wrestling Tee store as well, right? What's the back handle on that?
It's on the. I don't know it. It's on the Twitter DM.
We'll link it. We'll link it all
when you type Ego. I looked at it.
We'll link it all in the comments below. So yes, we're gonna take a look in the Ego's man cave, but that'll do it here on the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. If you want to see what's in the toy cave, you've got to go to patreon.com/WNRDB. Subscribe to this channel, like the video, share it with your friends. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter at WNRDB. ProWrestlingTees.com/the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast, and that is nerd spelled NRD. And until next time, on behalf of myself, the voice, Dave Canning, the founding father, Nick Carpenter, the Micro Brawler scholar, Ryan Crossley, and of course, the Ego, Robert Anthony, thank you for joining us. And until next time, on behalf of the Wrestling NRD Broadcast, don't forget to tell your mother you love her every day because, like Kevin Durant said, Mom, you're the real MVP. Good night, everyone, and God bless America.